don't know. Stop. See, you already swore.
I did.
Hey, this is where I say an umpire and a vampire square off week after week, reviewing movies outside their own strike zone. This week's movies, the 2004 Hidalgo and 2010 Tucker and Dale vs. Evil, starring Tyler Labine, Viggo Mortensen, Alan Tudyk, Katrin Bowden, Louise Lombard, and a wild Mustang. Now two guys who are the semicolon in the sentence of life. Tim Kretschmann and Jeff Miller.
Thank you, Jafe.
There you go.
Oh my God. Is it possible that they're getting even more epic?
Or what? What do you mean?
Is it possible?
What are
I
you
don't
talking
think
about?
it's possible.
What are you talking about?
I mean, how could this get any better than what we're already
See, there you go.
producing on a
Everybody
week
loves this show.
after week basis?
And I get the emails that
Here.
prove it.
Yes, you do. So, for those of you that are new to the show, my partner here is the ump. He's known as Jafe. He enjoys spending time with his dog, Tango.
Yes, Tango.
I was told to tell you that his dog does not dance, but I'm going to offer this up. Neither does Jafe. So, anyway, want to thank you all for taking part in tonight's fantastic program. What's going to happen is I am a horror movie fan, and I assign a horror movie to Jeff, and he's going to be watching Tucker and Dale versus
I watched it
Evil.
already, past tense.
Okay. And he assigns me
A sports movie because I enjoy sports. AKA the reason why I'm called the ump.
and for some reason he gave me a Western this week instead of a sports movie.
But they're the sport of racing, the sport of kings.
Sport of racing. Horses don't know they're racing.
Yeah,
they
they
just
do.
know there's a guy on their back that keeps digging a spur into their side.
They're racing. They're
It's
racing.
what happens. Don't change the story.
Put a carrot out in front of them, but that'd be a donkey. Would you like to see a donkey race? I think I would. I think I'd like to see a donkey race.
I think you want to see a donkey show. Thanks everybody for coming out.
Wow.
We're gonna get things started now
Just
with
wow.
Jafe.
You know what? Jafe is gonna take a little sippy poo of his non-alcoholic
a little of a
drink.
happy drink there. Huh?
That's not. But we know we don't do that anymore.
That's
we know
right.
that. Every time I come here, Tim has to like.
I extend my pinky when I drink. See that?
Yeah, there you go.
That's how you know I'm classy.
But see, Tim checks my drink when I walk into the building. He sniffs it. He makes sure that I'm not on the hooch.
Yep.
Because I've given up the hooch during the show.
We take blood tests, you know. So
He asked me to walk a straight line, do the alphabet in reverse.
He has me fooled because he can't ever walk a straight line, so I can't.
Everything
tell the
seems very
difference.
red on the.
It does.
Why,
I don't know.
Tim?
I've been working on it.
This
I don't
whole
know.
season's been a mess, production-wise.
Well, maybe we gotta call it.
No, it has not been a mess. It has not been a mess.
No, it's something with this particular monitor. Why don't you get talking? I'm gonna try just rebooting it. Maybe that's
All right.
well.
So
Keep going.
Tucker and Dale. I mean, no, wait a second. It's
Yeah, it's
Tucker and No, it's
It says Tucker and Dale.
Dale and Irv versus Terror.
What the hell is this?
Is that the name of the movie? No, Tucker.
That's about the way you read it.
Tucker
at the
and
beginning of
Dale
the show.
versus Evil. It's a 2010 movie. It's R-rated for ridiculously. I don't even know.
It's pretty violent.
Anyway, well, let's get to it. So it's an hour and 29 minutes, so it should be right in that sweet spot that you want a horror movie in.
Yep.
129. Amazingly, that 129 seemed like 229.
Oh, give me a break.
I'm telling you what I'm saying. And if you're
Okay.
not liking it, don't be listening. So our hero here, our two anti-heroes that are, so we have Tyler Labine and Andy Tudyk. Is that Tudyk? Tudyk.
Alan Tudyk.
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 Well, it looks like Tudyk.
No, it looks like Tudyk.
Yeah, Tudyk. Alan Tudyk.
It looks like Tudyk.
Is it Tudyk?
It's Tudyk.
Why has he got a Y in there?
Why do you have a Y in you? All you do is ask why.
Well, anyways, and
Why is there air?
I think they gave him the name Tucker because it was close to Tudyk. So they wouldn't get it wrong. And
it's
then
because it's said about 10,000 times in the movie where you go,
Tucker?
Tucker!
Yeah.
Tucker!
So Dale Levine, no, it's Tyler Levine. Okay, here's the thing. Let me get this straight.
Okay.
The four main characters, Tyler Levine, Dale,
Yeah.
Alan Tudyk, Tucker, Katrina Bowden, Allison, which becomes a love interest, and then Jesse Moss as Chad. Those are your main players. Okay, so this is a movie that is. See, this is why I had a really hard time with this movie. It wants to be a horror movie, but are they giving it the horror moniker because there's a lot of gore and death and killing? So that's the whole thing. So it's not really. That's why I didn't find this as entertaining as I wanted to. I went into this movie, I'll tell you right now.
Wow.
I know. I was surprised too. Tim, I'm being completely honest with you. I'm being completely honest with our audience. I went into this movie, and if you remember watching last week when he told me which movie I was watching, I'm like, that's a no-brainer. That's right up my alley. But I started watching it, and it seemed so ridiculous that it didn't really do it for me. So there's the two main characters, Dale and Tucker got himself a fishing cabin in the woods. So
Efficient.
It's efficient cabin. Anyways, so they get a fishing cabin in the woods. I think he won it or he got it and like someone died or whatever. And they go there because they're going to take a little holiday, a little vacay. Okay. And his buddy Dale, so they're really hicks. They're hicks to the nth degree, okay? And I don't know. I mean, they're at the gas station and then this college group of people come whipping up in their car. They're like, they're going to go camping too. And it's just so ridiculous because Tucker tells Dale, like, just go over and talk to her, which is perfect. It's perfect to do. I mean, Tim and I know that. You just go up and talk to him. A lot of times the prettiest girl in the room won't get approached because they're afraid people are afraid to approach them. You just approach them and maybe you end up with them. But in this case, so Dale goes up to her, talks to her, and really nothing happens. Okay, so then these kids are all partying, and Allison, don't worry, I'm not going to spoil this. Allison falls off of a rock, but it's kind of cool because that was probably the best scene because there was a little bit of cleavage going on, a little bit of silhouettes going on. What was that for?
The spoiler.
I didn't spoil anything yet.
It was pretty much a spoiler.
No, she falls off her. How can you got to tell the story. It's a story to be told.
Okay.
I'll save the people an hour and 29 minutes. So she falls off a rock. They save her. But what's going on here is that her friends think that she's been kidnapped. So it's sort of like an episode of Three's Company. In the respect that whenever Jack was in the room with Suzanne Summers or with Joyce DeWitt, he'd be talking about something. They'd be talking about something completely innocent, but someone would come in the other room and they'd hear half of it and figure something nefarious was going on. That's exactly what happens throughout this whole movie.
No, they were double entendres.
Okay, same thing. Right? Yeah. But it's not spelled the same, but it's the same word. Same meaning.
Okay, just...
But anyway, no, don't...
No, go ahead.
Here we go. But
go
am
ahead.
I not right? Is that not a good analogy?
Yes, if they would sit down and talk, this whole thing would stop, yes.
Right. But what happens is the college students see something, and they only see part of it. Like, for example, one example. So one of the college kids thinks that they kidnapped their friend Allison. And he goes jumping after...
I constantly think people kidnap you, and then I'm so sad.
Because you see me the next week.
Right.
And so they're going to go after Tucker, Alan Tudyk, and they jump after him, and Tucker squats down, and the guy jumps into the wood chipper. Okay. But what do the college students see?
Oh, hold on. I have to press this again.
But what do the college kids see? I'm just giving them an example. They see Tudyk like hold on to his legs like he shoved him in there. So like that's just a perfect example of everybody thinking somebody's doing something different.
And it's a classic comedy bit.
It is. But it doesn't really. This movie just didn't really do it. I don't think this movie should have been named a horror movie. Is what I'm saying. I mean, it's
more of a comedy, but what it is a takeoff of slasher films.
Well, yeah.
That are cabin in the woods.
And Fargo. But the wood chipper?
Okay, whatever.
But Tim, you can't be upset with my with my review.
I'm not upset. I'm waiting to figure out. I'm trying to figure out why this didn't land with
It
you.
didn't land with me because
This is just.
it wasn't.
This is exactly what you should watch.
It should be, but there was no horror to really make me be scared, and the comedy was just It didn't really do anything. It was like vanilla. It was like white bread with vanilla yogurt, and you put a white raisin on top of it.
A little spice. Human centipede.
Nope. I don't want. That's not horror either. That's just gross. But here's the thing: it just wasn't comedy. It wasn't horror. It didn't really do it. That's probably why they don't have a Dale and Tucker Take on Evil Part 2, because it just didn't. It didn't do anything. There's a twist at the end, which I won't tell you because honestly, throughout this movie, kind of was making supper and doing some things with Tango because it just didn't keep my interest. It was I would go in and I would know what's going on, but I got to the wood chipper part, and that was about it for me.
All right.
I mean, I watched the whole show. Don't get me wrong, folks.
Okay.
I watched it, but horror. Why is that so hard for me to say every week? Horror-wise,
everything is difficult.
Nope. Horror. Imagine if I was drinking. Imagine if I was drinking. Horror.
I don't have to imagine.
I might get it right though. I might get it right.
Watch season 2 all over again.
Oh, geez. Horror-wise. It wasn't horror-ish. Comedy-wise, it was very weak, in my opinion.
Wow. Okay.
So, I guess you're gonna probably ask me what I rated this.
I'm gonna guess it's like a 2 or a 3.
No, it's a 2.
Wow.
It's a 2. Yeah. Allison was the best part of the whole movie.
Absolutely shocked.
She was the best part of the movie. His eye candy was the best part.
I am absolutely shocked.
But Tim, I was too because you heard me last week.
A lot of people really enjoy that.
You heard me last week. I was excited to watch this. And maybe I set the bar too high. Maybe I should have been like, oh, this is going to suck. Yeah. I remember this song.
Rock on. All right.
I don't get it, but all right.
All right. Thanks, Jeff. We are now going to take our break.
Don't you want point counterpoint? Don't you have anything to say?
Yeah, you're wrong. There wasn't enough there. You didn't like it.
I didn't.
I get it.
But
the movie is very good, folks.
It's not. I don't know. If you're looking for horror, would you say you would watch this if you were going to watch a horror movie on Halloween at midnight? Would you watch it?
Gore. Yeah, I'd watch. No, it's a fun time.
No one's killing anybody.
Nobody's killing anybody. He's got a bigger body count than your crap.
They're killing each other.
Yeah,
there's not a murderer in there.
People die. All over the place.
It's not worth it, folks. If you just have something to do for an hour and 29 minutes, do it, but don't waste your time.
This is a quality flick.
Don't spend any money on it.
It's a shame that Jeff is wrong so frequently on the show.
No,
and we're going to start putting together statistics to statistically prove that Jeff is wrong.
But here's the thing. Do you guys like my hillbilly hat?
That is sweet.
This doesn't say giver on it.
Yeah, you know what time it is?
I don't know. Yes.
It's time for your sports report. So everybody take a nap. Here it comes.
Wow, Tim. Just because I didn't like one of your movies. Here's the deal. Here's the sports report. The Texas Rangers are world champions. They defeated the Diamondbacks in the World Series.
Cool.
4 games to 1, the Texas Rangers.
Were they?
The cool thing about it is Bruce Bochy has his 4th World Series ring, and he became the very first manager ever to take a team that he defeated in the World Series to a championship in a World Series. Yeah. The San Francisco Giants defeated the Texas Rangers in 2010. Now, on to other sports. The Packers lost last week. They are actually 3-point favorites this week in Green Bay against the Rams.
How?
I don't know. It's home 3 points.
How?
3 points is home field advantage, so it's basically a scratch game. The Bucks.
Wait. So the game is that they scratch?
No.
That they could probably win.
And then the Bucks with Damian Lillard and Giannis Antetokounmpo is struggling. They're struggling, but you know what? They'll get that chemistry together, and all I got to do is get into the playoffs. And my buddy Craig Counsell, he's interviewed in Cleveland. He's interviewed in New York. And the word that's coming down the pipe is that his wife really likes New York.
Oh.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed, Big Apple. Let's do it. Let's pull the pin. And and one other last thing, the general Bobby Knight died.
Yeah.
He passed away, and I you know what? I really did enjoy Bobby Knight. I thought he was a brilliant coach. And that's all I got. That's all the sports that I know.
All right. Well, thanks, Chief. It's wonderful to have the sports segment.
I love March Madness.
Uh-oh.
Merch.
It's merch time.
There will be merch.
Everybody ready?
Yeah.
Here we go. I don't even know which one I got set up. Let's see.
I don't know.
Here we go.
Let's make some merch money.
Yep, we have those. We have the other ones. I like the music too.
Open it up, Muskego style.
Dance party.
And there, oh my god.
You know what there should have been called?
What?
Check your damn receipt.
Why?
Because they never got it right. They were always trying to rip people
Really?
off. Oh my god.
Where was the Zare here? Where was it? Was that north side? Like a capital?
No, you know where it moved in? Where
No.
Farmore used to be. Or it was just
Really?
before Farmore.
Really?
Yeah.
I used to work at Farmore. I was employee of the month there.
Yeah. He doesn't brag about it 30 years later, but...
I got a watch! Are you kidding me? Come on.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to remind you that coming
Oro.
March 1st through the 3rd, in the beautiful year of 2024, if you are going out to Pittsburgh, you can go to Horror Realm. And they've got a great batch of guests for you to see. There's Jafe. There's R.A. McCaley-Huff. There's Jafe. There's, let's see, you got William Forsythe. That's a big name. Barbara Crampton. You have Jafe.
Two big names.
You have Bill Mosley. You have Jafe. You got Charles Band.
Oh my goodness.
You have Jafe. You have Danielle Harris. You have Jafe. Now I'll read them as Dee Wallace from E.T. Now I'll read them as Jafe. Are you ready? Here we go. Jason Baluker and Jafe Burr. And then we got Kaluti Hodges. And then there's, of course, Christina Creeby and Lynn Labor. And we got Patty Big Melons. And that's what we got.
All right, well, I'm glad that you got those all pronounced correctly. I'm not
Yeah.
that bad.
You're pretty close.
Here's the thing. You know,
Here's the thing.
Listen.
Here's the thing.
So in the media, they would have
the
names
media.
that were difficult, and they would have the phonetic spelling next to it. I don't get that here. I don't get no phonetic spelling. So Alan Turdick, I mean, it should be phonetically put out there so I know how to say it.
You added letters to it.
Turdick.
You
Turdick. Tudyk. Turdick. Alan Turdick.
okay?
Anyways, but all I'm saying is IMDb, class it up a little bit. Let's get some. Let's get some.
It's IMDb's fault.
Well, it
ladies
is.
and gentlemen.
They should put out. Why wouldn't you put out phonetic spellings for people like me?
You know what?
Why not?
There's a lot of things that they need for people like you. That's why there's those special buses that they put out there. All right, everybody.
Hidalgo.
It is time for the Hill of Dagos. Okay,
Hidalgo.
I will tell you, when I was setting up this show,
Set it up.
there were so many times that I wrote Hiladago, Hidalgo.
That's not the way it's spelled.
It's not. It's Hidalgo.
Correct.
Hidalgo.
Hell, correct.
Right.
So I guess we all make
And
mistakes,
after-
people.
No, actually, no. But,
Hidalgo.
oh my God.
Hidalgo. No,
So,
Hidalgo Lego. Why?
but-
See, that's even spelled wrong. Hidalgo.
But it was
Gigolo.
made in 2004. This movie is not a sports movie. It's a Western. It was set in 1890.
There's a race.
Set in 1890, Frank Hopkins, who is played by Viggo Mortensen, is kind of a cowboy that's got a drinking problem, and he has a Mustang called Hidalgo, and they're part of Buffalo Bill's Wild West shows, and they're really pushing that he is the long distance winner, that this horse cannot be beat at a long distance race. Well, some Arabs come over, and apparently whatever they wanted to blow up was not available.
Arabs.
And they go and they come over, and that's horribly racist.
What
there
is?
you are. Anyway,
What was
but
racist?
the Arabs, they say,
You just said
hey dude, you don't even know what a long distance. You have no idea. You don't even know what a long distance race is. You don't know. You don't know that that's the best horse. You don't know.
It is.
That's what they do.
It's American Mustang.
So they say, hey dude, well, why don't you come race over in the desert? So you meet Omar Sharif in one of his later roles in life.
He's done a lot of stuff, hasn't he?
Well, he did make Dr. Zhivago
That's
with David
it.
Lean.
That's it.
I believe he was also in Lawrence of Arabia.
Oh, so he knows how to play an Arab.
He's made quite a few big movies. This was not one of them. But there's a race, and long story short, and I do mean long. This thing is like over 2 hours. But it's more of a Western than it is a race. Now, let him have his little rant here.
How is it a Western? It takes place in Arabia.
It is a Western because there are horses and gunplay throughout the movie.
But they're racing to get to the Sea of Fire.
Nobody cares.
But it's a race.
Literally nobody
But
cares.
it's a race, so it's not cowboys and Indians.
There is literally $10,000 on the line.
But
That's what we're
okay.
talking
What's
about.
back in 1880?
Not enough to die for.
You're not gonna
That's
die.
what
You're gonna get to the end.
No, there were quite a few people that died. if
Ooh,
you
so I
recall.
had some murder in there for you, didn't I?
You did have some murder in there, and there was a plague of locusts that looked like it came out of the movie The Mummy. There was a sandstorm. The sandstorm
That was wicked.
The sandstorm
wicked.
was okay. The locust thing, they just kind of like faded to black, and they're like, yeah, there's a lot of bugs around here. And I'm like, you're bugging me is what's going on.
That sandstorm was scary. Could you imagine being in that?
What? In
That
the
sandstorm. That is wicked.
I think we had that with snow on Trick or Treat night around.
Yeah, we got tricked. Mother Nature tricked us.
Oh my God. So, what did I think of this thing? Well, I will say, had Jafe told me that this was a Western and there's a little bit of horse racing in it, I probably would have expected a better film. Instead, I thought it was this horse racing movie because that's all Jafe would say. And the Western bit sneaked in on me. So I enjoyed it a lot more.
There you go.
Yeah, like this was something you planned. The movie is beautifully shot. The acting is very good. Well above the crap we've grown accustomed to, having to endure Matthew Modine pretending to be a wrestler, and that abysmal portrayal of a basketball player by Robbie Benson.
Wow. Jeez.
I mean, come on, guys. There's a reason they're doing voice work. It's because their face sucks. So what is this movie? This is basically Quigley Goes to the Sudan. You know, if you remember Quigley Down Under, it's like a Texas cowboy going to Australia.
Tom Selleck.
This is Quigley going to the Sudan, and he's screwing around on this horse. Now, here's some of the problems. The horse is not an actor. It's just a horse. Where's the pathos? It doesn't seem to have any comedic touches. It just sits around and is a horse. What fun is that? I've watched a lot of movies like out on the range where the horses even have dance sequences and sing.
But this is a race.
This horse does not sing or dance.
He's not going to do anything.
However, every time, here's the thing about it being a race. You keep pushing
Yes.
it's a race.
It's a race.
Here's the thing. If I were to cut out all the sequences of a horse actually running, I would have been done with this movie in about 5 minutes.
Tim.
Because in this race, every time you turn around, They're getting off the horse. They're carrying the saddle for the horse. They're talking to the horse as if it's, they're probably falling in love with her, just thinking it's Sarah Jessica Parker. And they're sitting there and they're just confused.
Tim. Jesus.
They are. It's like, what are you doing? There's just, it doesn't feel like a race because they're so relaxed about it. They're like, we're running this race for 3,000 miles. We'll get there when we get there. It doesn't feel like a race.
But now you said that Hidalgo. Whatever.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get caught up in my own head.
Yes.
But here's the thing: he did some tricks in the
Jake.
beginning. Remember in Buffalo Bills, he did the wounded Indian thing and all. He did some tricks.
No,
he did some tricks.
I agree, but he did not sing or dance and didn't act.
He's
very
not
good.
Mr. Ed. Okay.
At one point, and this isn't a spoiler. At one point,
Oh, don't spoil it.
The horse is injured a little bit. The horse doesn't even seem to notice it.
It's because he's American Mustang, American Muscle.
Oh God!
It's
Yeah,
like Vin
now-
Diesel's vehicles in
Okay.
Fast and the Furious, American Muscle.
But it is a slog at 2 hours 12 minutes. But amazingly, there's no drug use in it, so I was shocked Jeff assigned it.
Oh
Because
my
he
God.
knows how much he likes
Oh
the
my
drugs.
God!
The action sequences are pretty good. I wish there were more of them. Now, the director was Joe Johnston.
Mhm.
He made Jumanji.
Mhm.
He made Captain America First Avenger. He made Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, The Rocketeer, and the Benicio del Toro version of Wolfman.
Interesting.
Now, because he did The Wolfman, you know what time it is for all of our little friends out there. It is time for that horror movie connection.
Oh, before you do that, can I?
Yeah.
Well, no. Wait. What if I had somebody in my movie that's a Hall of Famer? Should I have called it out already?
I don't know. Go ahead and say it.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Well, Tim, come on, Alan Tudyk.
Alan Tudyk.
Yep.
He
He was the
he
he was the manager, the Pittsburgh manager in 42. He played the manager that
That's
came.
what you came up with?
Well, he's a Hall of Famer for us.
He's also the pirate in Dodgeball.
Oh, that's right. That's where, you know what? That's where I saw him before. And I couldn't do it until I'm like,
Unreal.
yes.
Unreal.
So he's a 2-time Hall of Famer. So
Yes.
put up a trophy up there.
You
or
want
something.
one for that?
Yes.
All right, there you go.
You did. Look at that. I'm bringing the good stuff to this show. Alan Tudyk. You're right.
All right, here we go.
He was Pirate Steve the Pirate.
Yes, he was a pirate.
Arr.
So, speaking about pirates, then we got Viggo Mortensen here. Viggo has a percentage of 9.2%.
I can name one of his movies.
Okay.
Oh, maybe I can't. I thought there was one where. No, you know who I'm thinking of? I'm thinking of the guy who plays the Wolverine.
Wait, you can't name a single Viggo Mortensen film?
Well, no, wait. You mean a horror movie one?
I'll settle for anything that you can come up with.
I know he was in something. No, I can't. I thought he was in the.
Okay, most people when they see Viggo Mortensen, they immediately say
I don't know.
Lord of the Rings. He was
That's
in
a book.
all three.
It's a book
Yeah,
that I didn't read.
yeah. Well, yeah. There weren't enough pictures.
Is that a movie too?
he's-
Seriously, is that a movie?
Yeah, they made 3 of them.
Well, I guess I didn't see
They're
him. So how would I know he was in it?
The biggest films of those years, and multiple Oscar nominations, but they didn't advertise heavily during football games. So
Well, I didn't see him. So
anyway,
okay, all right. Good for him.
Viggo has been actually making quite a few recently, like Crimes of the Future, but he was also in that Psycho Shot for Shot remake.
Really?
That also had Vince Vaughn.
Okay.
He was in that version of Psycho as Sam Loomis. And he was in Texas Chainsaw 3, which we're going to be meeting a bunch of the Texas Chainsaw people at
Horror Realm.
So,
Hey, in Texas
that's good.
Chainsaw 3, is that the
Yeah.
one with the one from Baywatch in it? That one dark-haired girl?
Yasmin Bleeth?
Nope. No. This is new stuff. This is I can't think of it right now. Just move on.
Okay, it could be anyone with that description.
No, but you should know who
It
I'm
is,
talking about.
of course. I'm such a fool.
Alexandria Daddario.
Alexandra Daddario?
Yeah.
No, that is not
Oh.
the Texas Chainsaw Massacre that she was in.
Okay.
There's been a lot of chainsaw action.
Okay.
Don't worry, we'll get you caught up. So Omar Sharif has been in 119 movies.
Wow.
He has one horror credit, but it's like
Really?
a TV thing, so I'm just gonna say he has no horror credits. Total loser, and he should be ashamed of himself.
He kind of looks like Mr. Adams from the Addams Family.
He does.
He could have pulled that off.
I'm gonna jump to one that actually has some credits, and we're gonna go to C. Thomas Howell.
Oh, that's him?
At the beginning of the movie, they're in a
Wow.
race. He did a lot of stuff in the 80s,
Soul Man.
but he has 224 credits.
I believe it.
224.
He was in everything in the 80s.
He was. Like The Outsiders is the obvious one that people
Secret
talk
Admirer.
about, but Soul Man and but
Kelly
he has
Preston.
32, count them, 32
Get outta here.
horror films because
Wow.
he has been in The Walking Dead, Creep Show on the TV version that just went out on Amazon Prime, by the way. You can see the first season.
Do those actually count? Like TV
But then
shows?
he was also in some direct-to-video garbage like Camel Spiders, Mutant Vampire Zombies from the Hood.
Camel spiders.
Yeah, Camel Spiders.
Oh my god.
He was,
What the hell is
course, hold on, where is it? There it is. The 1998 version of The Outer Limits. So he must have been driving through Canada or something. He did the Hitcher films. That's what most people know him from. The Hitchhiker TV show that you're a fan of. And he was the star, the lead in Kindred, the Embrace the TV series. You know, it was based on a role-playing card game, and they made a TV series out of it. The idea and the conceit is excellent. It's hell to watch. It's really hard to watch. But he does the best. He's like the character that kind of introduces you to their world. So it's kind of a thankless job, but oh my God.
Really?
It's hard. So then I'm going to jump one more time. We're going to go down the list to J.K. Simmons. Now, do you know who this?
That's the insurance guy.
It-
Farmers, sure. Wait. We are farmers. Dun, 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 dun.
Yes. He also was playing Buffalo Bill in this movie, and I thought he was a perfect casting choice.
Good.
He has had 231 movie. So
Oh my God.
That's more than Thomas Howell.
Oh my God.
He is probably best known probably for being J. Jonah Jameson in the new Spider-Man films, but he was also in Oz, the HBO series. But he did play a general in the recent The Stand TV series based on Stephen King's novels. And he was in Jennifer's Body, which is just barely a horror film. So J.K. Simmons was
Didn't
in
he
there.
win an Oscar? As
think
a conductor or
for-
something? He was like a conductor.
Yeah, what is it called? Something Beat.
Some opus or something?
No, it's not. It's not Mr. Holland's opus. It's something like it's crazy that.
But I know
would
that he won it
guess.
because that's why I think, and you're doing commercials. Because he's doing State Farm.
Yeah, but he.
Or is it even State Farm?
What was the name of it? It's about drumming,
Yeah.
and it was. Oh, and we're hearing too that he was in the Closer TV show. Well, he's been in so much television.
He's
it's
been in a
just
lot. Holy hell.
crazy.
You know who he looks like too? He could pull off Colonel Potter in MASH.
Colonel Potter.
Right? Is that no wait? Yeah, the last Colonel.
You're talking about Harry Morgan.
Yeah. In MASH. I can see. Can't you see a Harry Morgan there?
I can't, but I'm glad that you can.
Yeah, it's you just gotta
It shows a delightful essence of imagination.
Whiplash.
Whiplash. That was the name of it.
It was about a car accident.
Did you watch it? Did you ever see that movie?
No, I just saw the Academy Awards when he won the award.
He is good at playing a hole.
Hole. A whole lot of what?
A hole. Butthole.
Gotcha.
But that movie makes me anxious watching it.
Does it really?
Because he's sitting there just reaming out this kid that's trying to learn how to do the drums. Yeah. And he's just so dismissive, so, like, just evil. It's kind of, if it were about sports, it'd be like the worst coach you could imagine.
Okay. Like the guy from One-on-One with Robbie Benson.
You would probably enjoy it from that standpoint because it is so much like a sports movie. Because it's about, he's got to be the best. He's got to be the best. And in the end, who cares? You know. But
I don't know.
there you are. Guess what else we have?
Wait.
Guess what else?
Probably a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, buddy.
Before we do the buddy, don't you have to tell me which one had the best percentage of horror movies?
I will in a second, but I
right.
want to do Pauly Shore.
All right.
Pauly Shore decided to take Viggo Mortensen, who is a star. Another two. Just a two-stepper. You go from Pauly Shore to Casper Meets Wendy. That connects you with Shelley Duvall. That takes you to a movie that nobody has seen, The Portrait of a Lady. But Viggo Mortensen and Shelley Duvall are in the same movie. Two steps. We have yet to get a Pauly Shore number of 3.
Okay.
It's either been 1 or 3 or 2.
Okay.
That's it. It's amazing because Pauly Shore is not a guy with 228 credits. He's got like 30. It's crazy. It's crazy.
But Tim can connect the dots.
Well, I've got tools to assist me on that because there's no way I could just figure it out. That's for sure. All right. And you wanted to hear who had the highest percentage?
Yeah,
who do you think? I gave you the ones with the highest percentage.
It's got to be the one with like the least amount of movies if you want to do the math, because we know how much I'm a mathematician.
Right. Yeah.
I would say the person that I got to take a look at the Hidalgo thing here. So I'm going to say the one with the most amount. I'm going to have to say it's. I'll just go with Vigo.
Yeah. Completely wrong. In fact, Vigo only had a 9.2.
Okay.
The top one is actually, let me bring her picture up for
you. Didn't even mention her.
I didn't mention her because.
Well, how am I supposed to answer the question?
Why? Because I don't care. Okay, there she is, Zalika.
Yes. Look, I have
Robinson.
I have my cursor on her.
Yeah, it's because she's only had 29.
That's what you got to go with, the low amount.
29 credits. And if you saw her in the movie, you'd know why she only has 29. She's not very good. But she was in the Exorcist TV show, which is actually pretty good. And the Evil TV show, which is pretty good. But she has 5 out of 29. That puts her at 17.2%. The one that's actually worth something is C. Thomas Howell. Actually has 32 credits out of 224. He's got a 14.3%.
All right.
But I decided that I am not going to go through all 9 that I review each time. Because somebody like this, boring.
Okay.
Boring. So, kind of like the movie.
Maybe it's not boring to me. Oh, let's hear your score.
What? Now you're interested.
Of course.
Now you want to hear what Tim has to say.
I do.
Most of the time you just talk over me.
No, I don't.
And don't want to hear. Hold on a minute. What do you think I'm going to score?
I'm going to give it a 7.
You're right on the bead.
There you go.
You are right on the beat.
See the 7.
I
Let's see
hit
it.
the wrong button.
See it. Just like this is why I
There it is.
put this movie here. So I needed the points this week.
Yeah, you do. You do.
I did, and I knew this was. I knew Tim would love
It's a
this movie.
7 because it's a Western and not a sports movie. If it was based on the sports level of this, no, it wouldn't get anything. But it's a good movie, a good story.
The horse race.
The acting is good. Now, I did see that some people rip on this movie because, well, Omar Sharif, spoiler, cuts a guy's
Don't spoil
off.
it. Don't spoil it.
Okay. But they say, oh, well, Arabs, as you know, have never done anything mean or bad in their entire history. So, you know, there's a lot of that sort of crap about, oh, you know, everything is beautiful and wonderful. It's like, no, it's probably happened at some point. I don't think it's that wild of an idea. The only thing that might be wild is that Viggo Mortensen is in this race to begin with. That seems a little wild.
I mean, when you think about that race,
how the heck do you move a horse like that over the Atlantic Ocean and in those years and that horse not die of diphtheria or something on the way?
Well,
you know,
I don't know.
Because I mean, I'm just being
Realistic.
serious.
Yeah.
It was not a good, clean time.
But then think about the race.
And
Their
then
race-
it was good enough, you know, that the horse not only made it, but then was able to go through the stuff that you see in this movie, and he's still ticking.
and
yeah.
and running through sand and hot sand.
Ugh.
That's tough. You ever run on the beach?
I ran through water once.
You ran through water?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know what that means.
When you run through water, it's kind of slow.
Oh, I gotcha. Oh, I gotcha.
Yeah.
Picking up what you're putting
It
down.
was it was at the gym. I was trying to get through one of the potholes, and it was really.
But get this. The parking lot has been fixed, so there are no more potholes. Tim.
Just in time.
Justin Timberlake. All right, Tim.
All right.
It's trivia time, right?
It is trivia time. How did you know?
Because I trying to get more points.
You've been here before, huh?
I have been.
All right. Well,
She actually looks like Yasmin
trivia.
Bleeth. If you look at her here, she kind of does before she got the nose job.
Okay. I don't see it.
You don't
but
see a lot of things that I see.
I thank God. What to say this week about trivia? Well, we read three
Oh my God.
statements.
You are off this week.
I'm off this week.
Too much candy.
We read three.
He's coming off his sugar high.
Okay, I'll admit it. You probably have noticed my throat is pretty constricted.
Yeah.
It's because I eat like an entire bag of Reese's Pieces before tonight's show, and Reese's peanut butter cups, and Kit Kats,
Tim.
and Milk Duds
Tim.
before the show. Yeah, go look at that
I
garbage.
don't wanna look
That
in there.
garbage
I don't know
can
what's
is
in
filled
there.
to the top with wrappers.
I got to ask you this though, because we are a little bit ahead of
But
schedule.
I am rapping.
We're a little ahead of schedule, like we never are. What
That's because you didn't
What-
give a good review.
What is your favorite Halloween candy?
Mine?
Yeah.
I think I just listed them.
No, you can only pick one. You can only have one. What would be your favorite?
Probably Reese's peanut butter cups.
Yeah. See, I think mine.
But I like the bigger ones. These are all these little.
Do you ever get
crummy
the
little ones.
like the big the single one that's like this, like
That
this
I
big?
don't. That's too much.
No.
The right way is
No.
that like.
That's good stuff, man.
that went-
The
no.
big cup. But anyways, my favorite is Kit Kats. I love Kit Kats.
My dad would be with you on that
That's
one.
good.
Yeah, he's a. In fact, most of the Kit Kats that were left over, I took over by my dad because I knew they could not be trusted in this house.
And did Tim save me any candy? Nope.
Not a single bar.
Thanks, Tim.
Not a single piece.
Thanks, Tim.
Because I knew he was going to screw me on the review this week.
You didn't know that because I thought I was going to like this, Tim. I thought I was going to like this.
I knew you were going to screw me. All right, so do you want to go first?
Yeah, I'll ask you first.
Okay, let's go.
Did you pay attention to the movie?
No.
Did you pay attention to the actors and actresses?
I did not.
Okay. All right. Hidalgo, the Mustang, was actually played by 5 different horses throughout the making of this movie. Elizabeth Barridge, who played Annie Oakley, was a perfect fit for her role because she won a state title in high school for trap shooting. And the final race scene was actually filmed in Montana.
All of these sound plausible this week. Now, if I find out
it was
that
in
you're
North
saying
Dakota.
A lie, no, if the thing is going to be, well, it wasn't 5 horses. It was actually 4.
I don't do that.
I am going to walk away and not come back.
I've never done that to you.
So far.
And I wouldn't do that. That's not the way Jeff Miller rolls.
Okay.
5 horses, Montana, and she was perfect for the role.
I do believe, if I remember the press junkets at the time, that Viggo Mortensen bought the hero horse, which was the main horse that he rode. That I think I remember hearing about.
What does that have to do with
because
anything?
he had like a dude ranch or something.
I want to go to a dude ranch. I think it'd be fun.
Oh, you'd be very duty.
Wouldn't it be fun?
No, it looks like a lot of work.
No, man. Riding horses all day, campfires, riding them
Well,
again.
here's the thing. You could probably ride horses all day. Me, they have to bring out a Clydesdale so I don't break its back.
Shut up. Whatever.
Or an elephant or a camel.
Well, that would be a circus. We're
All
talking a
right.
dude ranch.
All right. I'm going to say the 5. That sounds about right because they were doing a lot of stunts.
Okay.
And frankly, the horse that every time they showed it, none of them looked smart enough to do all the things. So I'm going to say that one sounds true. What was the second one again?
The second one was that Elizabeth Burridge up there, Annie Oakley.
Okay.
She won. She was perfect for the role because she won a trap shooting and a state title in trap shooting in high school.
Okay.
And the final one is that the final race was actually filmed in Montana.
See, I think Montana sounds very, very plausible. Elizabeth Barridge.
Exactly what I said.
She's a woman, so we know she isn't any good around guns because she's a woman.
But she got the role as Annie Oakley.
So, you're trying to fool me.
I love it.
But I'm still, just because I'm such an incredible uber misogynist, I'm going to say that because I don't believe women can shoot. It's so much bullshit. I know a lot of people that can shoot. But I'm going to say the Elizabeth one is the fake one because you wanted it to sound more fake, but it's more plausible than Montana. So I'm going to go Elizabeth Barridge is true, so Montana is going to be false. I'm going to say Montana is false.
Wrong. It was Elizabeth Barridge.
It was?
Yeah, I made that up. I love it.
Oh.
Yes. And you were right there, and I'm like, get away from it, Tim. You were right there.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
I got a chance to make up some ground,
All right,
baby.
You do. All right.
I'm getting better at writing questions, I think.
Let me see.
Don't
which
you?
one do I want to give you?
Okay, I'm not looking. Don't worry.
I got to think which ones I want to give you.
You have to admit, my questions are getting better.
No, they are. It sucks. Pisses me off.
Tim, I was sweating that one. Honestly, I was sweating that one because you're dancing around that.
All right, here we go.
All right, let's hear it.
Tyler Labine
Tyler Labine.
was the star of a horror comedy TV show named Reaper.
All right.
Alan Tudyk, which is the correct way to pronounce the name.
Turdick, yep. I know you hate that.
Jafe, listen now.
I'm listening.
Hey, now listen. Listen.
I'm listening.
Listen. You hold on a minute. Listen.
Okay.
Alan Tudyk was unable to appear in the film Serenity based on the TV show Firefly, because he died in the final episode of the TV show. And Katrina Bowden went on to star in the horror comedy Piranha 3 Double D.
Okay, repeat the second one again because it didn't make sense the way you read
Okay,
it.
Alan Tudyk
Yep.
was unable to appear in the film Serenity, based on the TV show Firefly, because he died in the final episode of the TV show.
So he didn't star in a show that he died in?
He didn't star in the movie spin-off
Oh.
because he had already died in the TV show.
Oh. Well, that's ridiculous. Nobody cares. So she was in...
The most highly watched TV series on DVD at one point,
Called Serenity?
called Firefly.
Firefly.
It was a huge seller
What's it
when
about?
Amazon was first coming out. It was a space western. That's what it was.
Sort of like Hidalgo was a Arabian Western?
No, it was a horse racing movie.
All right.
You better believe it about horse racing, because what they do is they stand there and they talk to the horse as if it could listen. And they go, "Hi there, horsey. How are you? Would you like to sleep with me?"
Tim,
Yeah.
would you please repeat 1 and 2?
No.
Please?
All right. Tyler Labine was the star of a horror comedy TV show called Reaper.
Okay.
Alan Tudyk was unable to appear in the film Serenity, based on the TV show Firefly, because he died in the final episode of the TV show.
When did Reaper come out?
I don't know. I don't have all this in front of me.
Well,
With a TV show.
does he play the same kind of character?
I'm not getting into details. This is all this bullshit you guys do.
I'm going to say that the one about Double D is right. I'm going to say the one about, Piranha 3D.
Yeah, I knew what you meant, but I also realized what part you laser focused on was the Double D.
Well, of course. I am Jeff Miller. Let's see then, and I'm gonna say that nobody really cares if they died in a TV show and then it was on a movie. So I'm gonna say the false one is gonna be the first one. Is gonna be the
Tyler
one.
Labine,
Yeah.
being in a TV show
Yeah.
named Reaper.
Yep.
Jeff, wrong. It was Alan Tudyk. You were
Oh
close.
my God.
He actually dies in the movie.
Yeah.
He dies in the movie. But he was basically the star of the movie. So, yeah. He was in it. He was in it big time.
So what was the question? That he wasn't in it.
That he wasn't in the movie at all.
Oh, I heard it wrong.
I read it. I don't know how many times.
No, here's the thing. I'm not blaming you for anything, but
Yeah.
in my mind, I'm like, he would be in the movie because who cares about the TV show?
Right.
I screwed that up.
Yeah.
I
Well,
screwed
he
that
didn't
up.
die in the TV show.
But
He
who cares?
didn't.
I still would have
Yeah.
got it right.
Yeah.
I screwed that up. Son of a gun.
Now, Tyler Labine being in Reaper, that was a comedy.
Damn it, I had a chance
I
to
don't
get
know.
5
It was
points
like
on it.
mid-90s or something, maybe, if I had to guess.
I could have closed the gap. Damn it.
It's really a funny show.
Yeah.
But
real funny
it was
one,
about
right?
a guy that basically does work for the devil as a soul collection service for people escaped from hell, and he collects.
I don't
it.
want to see that show.
No, you wouldn't. Katrina Bowden, yes, she was in Piranha 3 Double D. She also is in a movie. I'm going to give people a great suggestion. This just came out on Amazon Prime. It's an older movie, but it just came out. It was originally called Monolith, the name of this
I've heard
movie.
of this.
I might have told you about this.
Yeah, I think you
before,
did.
too. But she came out in this movie, and they renamed it on Amazon Trapped Child, because that's what it's about. It's a woman buys a sports utility vehicle that's basically impenetrable. You could go through riots with this thing. It's impossible to break into or break the glass or anything. She takes it out on a cross-desert drive. She has her child's in the back seat, and you know how you strap down these kids these days.
Yeah.
And he's like in a wool suit or something.
Who is?
And this kid, it's
the kid is okay. All
one
right,
of these
gotcha.
onesie type deals.
Yeah.
They go driving, and for whatever reason, the kid gets locked in the back of the car, and she can't get in. And they're in the middle of the desert, and it's getting hotter and hotter. And the whole movie is about her trying to get back in and save her child.
Why didn't she break the window?
Because you can't break the window on this car. I mean, it's like a tank.
Oh, okay.
It was built like a tank, and they established that well. So it is a really good movie.
Ooh, that would be intense.
It's a really good movie. I think it's a lot of fun. And
I think it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I love watching children in peril.
Tim.
Katrina has to continue to shed clothing because it's so hot, and she's so hot.
Good.
So it's a lot to watch there. But I enjoyed it a great deal. It's called Trapped Child on Amazon, but originally it was called Monolith.
That is
You
something
might wanna
else.
check
Wow.
it out.
You know what movie is? Well, nah.
No,
I don't want to
ahead.
talk about it. No, that's
Go
fine.
ahead.
No,
We're ahead.
no. Well, I want to. You know what movie I want to watch? Have you heard, or did anybody out there? You can send me an email too. The movie Fall. You know that's on.
Fall.
It's two girls.
Is it about autumn?
No, they climb things, and so they're climbing this like radio tower, and they're way up.
Oh, I did hear about this.
I kind of want to watch that, but then I kind of think, oh, it's gonna be.
There's a movie too called I think The Wire or something, where it's a guy walking on a tightrope across two buildings.
Yep.
I do not, and it was directed by Robert Zemeckis, who I love.
Back to the Future, right?
Right. And I'm like, I really want to see it, but I don't think I could take it.
See, that's how I feel
I
about
don't
Fall.
think I could take it.
Because early on in my relationship with my wife, when we were dating, we watched Frozen. Not the Disney Frozen. This is about the people on the ski lift. And just watching that, and you're on the edge of your seat the whole time.
Yes.
So that's why I think
that's
this
a very
Fall would be
well
like-
done movie. That's
Yeah.
a very well done movie. The director's name. Oh.
I'm not gonna be able to help you.
Adam Green. Adam
Wow.
Green.
Yeah, I'm not
directs
gonna be able to
that
help you on
movie.
that.
He did the Hatchet movies too. But those are horror comedies, and I'm learning that you don't like comedy.
But I do. But that
anyway,
this
here's
was
the
neither
score,
comedy or
folks.
horror. Okay, people.
Here's the score, folks. I'm in 49, but Jeff is in very easy striking distance. Let's take a look what the next movie.
I could have got there. I could have got within
break
40
here
days.
is.
Shoot.
Let's figure this out. What is the?
I don't know. What is it?
It's supposed to start, and it didn't start. There we go.
I'm giving you.
So
I'll start. I'm giving you a Kevin Costner flick. Kevin Costner always seems to do a really good job in his sports movie. He plays a coach in this movie, and he coaches cross-country runners.
I gotta tell you,
it's going to be a Western, Tim, not a Western.
I gotta tell you, there are movies, because by the nature of setting up these shows, I get an opinion on the movies even that I haven't watched, because I gotta find,
Clips.
little clips and pictures and stuff. Did anybody see this film? Because there were hardly any.
I did. That's how come I know about it.
It was so hard to find anything on this movie.
Hidden gem. A hidden gem,
Pictures.
folks.
It looks like a ripoff of Chariots of Fire from the pictures I did find.
No.
I was like, oh, I hope this doesn't suck horribly.
It's not gonna.
This is one of the few movies that Jeff has assigned me that I haven't seen already, so I am looking forward to it.
You'll love it.
I hope so, because my God, I earned
It's
my
about
keep
time.
finding
It's about
those
time you
things.
do something worth something.
Wow. The movie I'm
I
giving you
remember-
is The Gate. Have you seen The Gate?
No, but I used to work at Farmore in the video department, and I remember this being a box that people would bring up, wanting to rent this all the time.
This was a huge VHS hit. A lot of people consider it a beginner horror movie because it is PG-13 style. It's probably going to be way too intense for Jave.
The Gate.
But it's a fun flick in my opinion. It's about demons from hell. We'll see what.
We'll see.
Jeff is not real big on the demons,
I'm not.
so
Why would you do this to me?
Because it's fun. It's so much fun. Torture Jeff. People, you should see the emails I get. You know, the thousands and thousands of emails that say, "Could you torture Jeff a little bit harder?"
Well, when you think about it, the last couple seasons, it's been kind of a cakewalk. I don't know if I really have been scared at all.
Now, oh, look, Jake, something in the chat room.
Killer dwarfs.
Killer dwarfs. Killer dwarfs are a key plot point in the movie The Gate.
Oh, there's gonna be midgets?
Mm.
Oh, that'd be kind of cool. All you gotta do is just push them over. Right? That's just like a little Chucky running around. Just kick him over.
You will
Now,
find out. That's all coming next week.
But now if
Here's
it's
the
haunchies,
show.
we should write a movie. We should write a movie about haunchies. We lived it. We've lived the haunchies.
Okay, I don't know if you've ever done this. Have you ever gone down the YouTube rabbit hole looking up haunchies?
No.
People have made movies about haunchies. They're all
That's
I mean, they're so bad.
That's because they have never lived it. You and I live here. We live with the haunchies.
I still think, what was that one? Rattlequake? That one sounds good.
Isn't that good?
That was a good idea.
Should I put that out there or no?
No, we don't want anybody taking
Rattlequake's a good idea.
Haunchies, let somebody.
We got to get Tracy DeLone onto that. She can get us a hookup to get somebody to get us Rattlequake going.
All right.
Wouldn't that be cool? Wouldn't that be cool if we had a movie? It'd be like
it's gonna happen.
Director Jeff and Tim, written by Jeff and Tim, or Tim and Jeff, whatever. I don't care. Alphabetically, we'll put you first.
Yeah, because you know I'm gonna do all the typing.
I know typing would be tough.
Yeah.
If we did voice typing would be
Scene.
good. They can't see your fingers, Tim. They don't know what you're doing. It's okay. Whatever. As long as they don't have Excel and Google Docs, I'm fine.
All right, you love that.
I
stuff.
hate that stuff.
Anyway, it's time to close the crypt and call the game.
You're out.
God. Thank you all for watching. Remember to share and subscribe to our show and feed. You can find the show at otherworldlyculture.com, and you can follow the show on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts, Pandora, iHeart, TuneIn, Stitcher. I got to take this out. Google Podcasts, because that's dead as of April of next year. Google Podcasts going away. Very upsetting. Don't worry.
Google's lame
They
anyways.
replaced it with YouTube.
Yes,
podcasts.
YouTube.
I am not digging YouTube's podcast setup, but
Okay, neither am
we're
I.
also on Spotify. Any place that you find podcasts, we're hanging out and eating a cheeseburger. So remember, everybody, if it's sports, see, now you're giving away the end.
How?
Spoiler.
I didn't give any spoiler. How?
You're sitting there giggling about this.
Because I think
If it's
so
sports, it's a home run. If it's horror, run home! We're dead on the bases, and you'll see us next time. Or we'll see you next time. Or we'll both see each other next time.
The Texas Rangers are awesome.
You know, I thought if I kept talking like that, you wouldn't do that. And you did it.
Never happened. No. I'll always do that.
The Texas Ranger. So you're a Texas Ranger fan now?
Well, it's now down to 5 teams, folks. 5 teams that have never won a World Series, and your beloved Brewers are one of them.